all, for making a little bit of time this morning and joining us. I do want to say that obviously, what we're all experiencing right now in the world today is kind of crazy. Some people asked us if we were still going to do the meeting. At first, we were going to do it and broadcast it and at least do it in a common location. But I felt very strongly that we should get together today because there are people, number one, that are looking to get some information about what the CBD industry is all about. But more importantly, I think that these products actually can help people deal with a number of things. If I cough today, it's because allergies in North Carolina are kicking up. But there's a lot of people that can benefit from these products. Now, I will come right out and say we cannot make medical claims of any kind whatsoever. This is not going to cure coronavirus. I say that because I have seen some things on Facebook from other companies that suggest that their product will. And I would like to go on record and say that's number one, ridiculous and just not true. I'll follow that up with saying that anything that can help you create and maintain a robust, healthy immune system is going to help you deal with certain things like that, viruses and things like that. So that's the end game here. And that's why we decided to go ahead and do this morning, is because there are a lot of people dealing with stress, anxiety, etc. For those of you that are interested, at the end, we're going to give you an overview of if you are interested in becoming a rep for the company and the product and things like that. And I thought that was important too. There are a lot of people who have been affected by the coronavirus in ways that have nothing to do with the virus itself. People that have lost their jobs, lost their source of income, and things like that. And I'm one of those people. So for people to be able to have a plan B, as I have, I am very thankful for this opportunity to keep, income flowing. I'm going to turn that TV off in the back. Pardon me, the logo disappeared. And by the way, we're doing this Zoom here, very kind of by the seat of our pants. So I'm coming to you live from the WARB studios in Cornelius, North Carolina. Anyway, so I do want to share with you just one thing really briefly. There might be some people on here that know a little bit about CBD, people that have heard of it but don't know anything about it, etc. So this is going to give you a broad overview. This is not designed to answer every single question there is to know about CBD, about hemp, but it's to give you an overview. If you do have questions, please feel free to reach out to anybody or to the person that invited you to join in today. So CBD, to start with, is our initials. And CBD initials stand for cannabidiol. Cannabidiol is just one of the over 130 molecular compounds in the hemp plant called cannabinoids. There are other kinds of CBDs within the plant. There's CBDA, there's CBDG or CBG, CBN. There's lots of CBDs in the plant, but there's over 130 molecular compounds known as cannabinoids in the hemp plant. There are also a large number of things called flavonoids, terpenes, fatty acids, all of which possess their own unique therapeutic benefits. So CBD is used as kind of an umbrella term nowadays. People say CBD, I've tried CBD, I've done CBD, what's CBD? Gas stations are selling it, video stores are selling it. It's all over the place. But much like Jacuzzi or Kleenex or Frisbee, those are brand names that have become synonymous with the entire kind of product niche that they represent. So CBD is just a term that everybody is now using. So I did want to go ahead and share that right off the top so we understood that. We're going to show a video now, and again, wish us luck here on some of the technology this morning. This is a really important video, and it's a doctor, and I find it the best way to communicate and put in context what it is that I'm doing, that everybody else involved with the company is doing, and more importantly, why. So I think it's really important information, and it coming from a doctor, I think it resonates considerably more than hearing it from me. So we're going to go ahead and pull up the video here. And hang in there. It's about I think about 12 or 13 minutes or something like that. But I hope you enjoy this.
Hello, Portland. Can you guys hear me? Hello, and hello everyone streaming. I know a few of you. Have you had your coffee? Are you ready? All right, good. So since you're already settled in your seats, I want you to lean in, because today I get to tell you a secret. And it's a secret that's been well kept for almost 30 years. And I want to start by sharing with you a quick story about a revolutionary named Jill. So let's watch.
Hello, my name is Jill, and I have Parkinson's disease. I've taken my Parkinson's prescription medication this morning, and this is how it helps, and it doesn't. This is my oil, cannabis oil, and I'm just going to spread it on the biscuit like that. It's been 20 minutes since I've had that butter in the biscuit, and I feel wonderful. No shakes, no nothing.
All right, so we're all happy Jill got better, right? But you're probably wondering, how is that possible? How is it possible that her well-researched, FDA-approved drugs aren't working for her, but something else is? It's because there's a secret system in your body that no one is talking about. Now we know these systems really well, right? They're taught in every health, anatomy, and physiology class between elementary and high school and medical school. Do you guys know these? Yeah, we have our circulatory and our pulmonary systems, our skeletal and muscular systems, just to name a few. And we all know about our nervous system, which we once thought controlled them all. But today I'm going to talk to you about this system. It's a system totally unlike, supreme to, and in control of all the rest. And it was completely left out of every single medical textbook I read, despite its discovery 27 years ago. Right? I am not making this up. This is for real. So since it's not in the textbook, I'm going to share it with you today. I'm going to share with you the real science and the real history of this system and how you can use it to take control of your health. But before I do, I want to share my story. So when I was a kid, I wanted to become a doctor like my parents. But as medical school approached and my parents reflected on the changing medical field, my mom encouraged me to do something different with medicine. So I pursued a dual degree in medicine and business to become a doctor entrepreneur, because we entrepreneurs believe we can change the world with our ideas, and I wanted to become a world-changing doctor. Can't you tell? Yes, with that notion, I was eager and energized to learn. But what I learned deflated me. Because for me, the salient lesson from medical and business school was that big medicine is a big bureaucracy and paradoxical to health. It was a heavy, really weighty ethical dilemma that forced me to confront the dichotomy between wanting to become a healer but becoming a drug pusher. I was training into a system pretty blasé and disinterested in addressing the root cause of disease and driven by patent medicine. This is not what I signed up for. And I was this close, literally, from walking away from medicine. But I found a family medicine program with an integrative medicine track, and that provided me a lens into ancient healing practices. Now, we benefit tremendously from the advancing technologies and innovations of today's medicine. But what I found was that people used to be great at healing themselves and others, in doing so with natural substances and simple practices like herbs and acupuncture and yoga and meditation and more. This wasn't witchcraft or voodoo, right? It wasn't then, and it's not today. These healers knew what worked, and they had sound theories as to why. They just lacked the science. They lacked a biophysical model demonstrating how, and it was hidden in the secret system all along. Are you guys ready to know what it is? All right, so we're going to start with a word clue. Can anybody pronounce this word? Okay, well, let's do it together. So for the benefit of the group, let's sound it out. Ready? Endocannabinoid. Endocannabinoid. Endocan. Louder, Portland. Endocannabinoid. Endocan. Masterful. Yes, thank you. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, this secret system is what's known as the endocannabinoid system. or ECS for short, so if I say that, you know what I mean. And now we get to really nerd out as I explain what it is and how it works. So the endocannabinoid system resides within all animals except the insect. It's a 600 million-year-old messenger and receptor system integral to homeostasis, or the management of balance within your body. From embryonic development to immunosurveillance, there is not a single function in your bodies that is not somehow influenced or modulated by the ECS. You can think of it as a switchboard, functioning in and across all physiologic processes and organs, acting and reacting to internal and external stimuli to direct, correct, and overall manage your health. Now, although a gross simplification, the endocannabinoid system can be broken down into 4 core components. First up, we have the cannabinoid receptors, like CB1 and CB2 and counting. Next, we have the ligands that bind to those receptors and initiate an action called endocannabinoids, or body-made cannabinoids, like anandamide and 2-AG. And we have the synthesizing enzymes that make these endocannabinoids on demand when they're needed, and the degradative enzymes that break them down after they're used. And it works through something called retrograde signaling. So illustrated in this diagram is the route of an endocannabinoid that's made in a postsynaptic neuron in response to neurotransmitter stimulation. It then travels backwards or retrograde across the synapse, where it binds to a cannabinoid receptor on the presynaptic membrane to initiate an action, in this case, blocking the release of neurotransmitter. So let me break it down a little bit simpler with an analogy. Yes. So let's say the endocannabinoid system is your dormitory or your apartment building, and your neighbor across the hall is making a lot of noise and they're getting really loud. You just walk across the hall and you politely ask them to turn the volume down. So you can imagine how important this function is when cells are sending signals of stress, pain, or inflammation. Like your noisy neighbor, these processes need to be checked. And it's through this mechanism that the endocannabinoid system checks these processes back into balance so that your body can relax, remember to eat, fall asleep, forget traumatic experiences, and protect itself along with a host of other mediating and restorative processes. The endocannabinoid system keeps your body in balance. Now, up to now, you guys probably thought the brain was the boss, right? We all did. But the brain's not the boss. The endocannabinoid system is. And we had it wrong. So with all that said, you guys might be confused why this really awesome system was kept secret for so long. Well, I'd say that it probably has something to do with the plant that they used to discover it. So back in the 80s, researchers wanted to know how THC worked. And THC is a plant-made cannabinoid, or phytocannabinoid, found in cannabis. And it's responsible for the intoxicating and euphorogenic properties that cannabis is so infamous for. And using radio-tagged THC, the endocannabinoid system was discovered as THC locked into and unveiled this extensive receptor network concentrated throughout the brain and throughout the rest of the body. And THC did this because they found out it's a direct analog or mimicker of our own endocannabinoid anandamide. And as an aside, anandamide, also known as the bliss molecule, is what's really responsible for the runner's high, not endorphins, right? So if any of you have ever experienced the euphoria that's come with exercising, that's your endocannabinoid system, that's anandamide. And we're finding more each day about over 100 other phytocannabinoids found in cannabis and other plants that mimic our endocannabinoids and have the potential to supplement or modulate the endocannabinoid system in therapeutic and healing ways. So this is where we're at. We have this incredibly mind-blowing system, and we have this plant, y'all, a plant that works on this system in therapeutic and healing ways. So what I really hope you're wondering right now is what's wrong with that? All right, well, the answer lies within the annals of American medical history, starting with 2 guys who really wanted to sell a lot of prescription drugs. And in their heyday, at the turn of the 20th century, American medicine was based on homeopathy and herbal medicine, and naturopaths and chiropractors weren't getting down with patent drugs. So with the millions of dollars in their pocketbook, a document called the Flexner Report, and the full force of state governments, American medical training was consolidated and standardized in accordance with pharmaceutical drug science to the exclusion of holistic care practices, natural substances and remedies, and natural cures. And this created a system that made patentable pharmaceutical drugs that treated symptoms easy to sell and that made natural holistic caring practices and unpatentable plant medicine like cannabis fringe, quackery, and illegal. What's surprising the most is that US physicians prescribed cannabis routinely to their patients well into the 20th century. Cannabis was once a top 3 most commonly prescribed medicines, dwindling out of use due to heavy taxation, the prosecution of the doctors who prescribed it, and finally, it being written out of the American Pharmacopoeia in 1942. You see, big business wrote my textbook. And I can only speculate that the endocannabinoid system was kept secret for so long because its science validated the use of unpatentable plant medicine like cannabis and other natural practices. But the pharmaceutical industry wasn't the only big business disrupting the once free market of health. We Americans spend multiples of billions of dollars annually on unhealthy and low-quality foods, in addition to the prescription drugs we reflexively depend upon, both of which are directly linked to endocannabinoid system dysfunction, which we now know is the precipitant to most chronic diseases. And as a result, Americans are getting sicker and sicker, riding round and round on a Ferris wheel of big interests that we pay to ride. That doesn't make any sense. We're outsourcing the responsibility of our health to the bigs, and they're cashing in at our expense. Staying on this ride is a losing battle. But this can be the past if we reimagine our future. And in this future, all we need is love. Yeah. But the type of love that I'm talking about is self-love. Because in the battle with the bigs, self-love is the revolution of one. Not until we start taking good care of ourselves do we opt out of the big business of disease. And the revolution of one is you choosing to live in balance, and the endocannabinoid system is your on-ramp. Now, as powerful and resilient as the endocannabinoid system is, it is not immune to aging or the assaults of modern living, like those unhealthy foods, and chronic use of prescription drugs, environmental pollutants and toxins, emotional stress, and how all of those things interplay on our genetics. Now, I just listed the top 5 contributors to ECS dysfunction and disease, and they should be avoided. But caring for yourself and your endocannabinoid system requires a bit of understanding of what nurtures it and what restores it. And here are your tools. Eat real food, because it provides the body with what it needs for healthy cells and the raw materials for building those endocannabinoids. Supplement with adaptogenic herbs and spices, because they soothe and tone the endocannabinoid system, aiding in balance restoration. Detox, because it cleanses the body. It reduces inflammation and rids it of harmful toxins that abet endocannabinoid system dysfunction. Incorporate phytocannabinoids and cannabinoid practices. Phytocannabinoids like CBD and THC, when taken as whole plant cannabis, have shown helpful in diseases of endocannabinoid system dysfunction and wellness overall. And cannabinoid practices, I know that's another fancy word, like sleeping and exercise, yoga and meditation, deep breathing and prayer, soothe and tone the endocannabinoid system as though they were supplements themselves. And lastly, maintain healthy relationships. The effects of personal relationships across work, home, your social settings affect endocannabinoid system tone. And y'all, create reasons to smile and hug often, because as it turns out, smiling and hugging, part and parcel with healthy relationships, triggers the release of your endocannabinoid anandamide, the bliss molecule. Now, as we're nearing the end of my talk, I know I've given you a mouthful of information, and it might be a little overwhelming, but I really hoped it piqued your curiosity and maybe sparked some inspiration, as it did for me. And I and my family have been so compelled by the physiology of the endocannabinoid system and the care it requires that we're pioneering the nascent fields of endocannabinology and cannabinoid medicine with many other scientists and clinicians worldwide. This is our calling. And effecting systemic change with this system is what gets us up and going every morning, and we're not going to stop until this information is in the textbook. Are you with me, Portland? Right? I mean, this is life-changing information. Yes. So I encourage us all to learn from our past and reimagine our future with this system. because the secret to balanced health resides in the science and total care of the endocannabinoid system. And I can tell you, like we tell our patients, that getting started is a lot simpler than you think. You just have to choose one. And you too can be a revolutionary like Jill. Thank you.
Hey guys, thanks for hanging in there for that video. I hope that speaks to you as strongly and as clearly as it spoke to me the first time I saw it. I was genuinely moved, and the reason I like to show that again is it puts everything that we're doing in context. And I believe that Dr. Knox says it far better than I could ever articulate it. So I hope you found that information very, very useful. I would have put just for a second, apologize. I wasn't aware my camera was still on, and a couple of people texted me and said, we can see you eating donuts. Now, I did say there were going to be donuts, but my apologies for that. I didn't know that, that my camera was going to be on. So about the endocannabinoid system, that's really, really important. If you Google this, and I encourage everybody, if you're thirsting for knowledge or want to know more, I suggest don't get all of your information from me or from another company or a bunch of glossy company literature and propaganda. Google it for yourself. Google the endocannabinoid system. Google endocannabinoid deficiency, because scientists are saying that endocannabinoid deficiency leads to not only some and not only a lot, but they're potentially saying it ultimately leads to a lot or almost all conditions and issues that a person might be dealing with. So again, this is not a magic potion. This actually supplements what your body already produces, but for some reason, whether it's environment, diet, age, the cannabinoids that we're producing in our body is minimized as time goes on. So I think this is really important stuff. So a little bit about the different CBD products. I will tell you that when you are approached or you see signs about CBD, it's really important to know the difference between CBD products and the level of quality. It's really, really important. So the different types of oils that there are out there, and I won't cover all of them because there are some things that really are just masquerading behind a really clever marketing campaign, such as hemp seed oil, cold pressing, all that kind of stuff. Won't tell you the fact that it's made from hemp seeds, and in hemp seeds there is no CBD. A lot of stuff. I won't bombard you with information this morning, but I will tell you that there are what you call isolates, which is CBD and CBD only as far as what has been extracted from the hemp plant. It's got some other things in there, probably some oils and who knows what else. You can always check the label. There is then what you call broad spectrum, which is CBD and some of the other components or compounds, cannabinoids found in the hemp plant. That's a different process as far as extraction and then reconstituting the products. I will start talking about our ReAction product a little bit because where I think a CBD product, if it's pure and it's genuine and authentic, is good for everybody. A full spectrum extract, FSE, as the doctor mentioned, is greater than the sum of its parts. ReAction is a full spectrum extract product, which means we use everything in the hemp plant except for the actual roughage. All of the molecular compounds are extracted. That is, again, over 130 cannabinoids. That is also all the other terpenes, flavonoids, fatty acids, and all that kind of stuff. The reason this is important is when you have all those things together, it creates what is called the entourage effect. You can also Google that as well. The entourage effect basically, again, is the sum is greater than the parts. So the power of a full spectrum extract is above and beyond and not even comparable to some of the other broad spectrum or specifically the isolate products. So I think that's really, really important to know. Again, not a magic potion. This helps your body do what it's designed to do, which is to heal itself. So we're going to have somebody join us now and talk a little bit about the products. I will tell you that one of the things, there's three things that actually make the ReAction products stand out, that make them better, and in my opinion, make them literally the best product on the market in the world. And I say that for a number of reasons. Number one, it is a full spectrum extract product, as I talked about. Number two, and this is really important, we have a patented proprietary extraction process. 5 people have seen our machines. I haven't even seen them. They are top secret. People say, well, if it's patented, can't people find out? Not if it's a trade secret or proprietary, i.e. the Coke formula for Coca-Cola, it's patented, but you and I ain't getting it. So we have an extraction process. The reason our extraction process is important, and this is one of the huge differences between everything else you're going to see and the ReAction products. We incorporate a process that utilizes nanotechnology and cryosonics. Nanotechnology is important because what it does is extracts the molecules and reduces the particle size to less than 100 nanograms in length. That might be a lot of information. It's important to understand why such a small particle is important. Your body cannot absorb anything on a cellular level that is greater than 100 nanograms in length. There's also something called the blood-brain barrier that I won't get into today. The bottom line is nanotechnology is the present and is the future. So instead of taking a vitamin and peeing or urinating 60% of it out of your body, the ReAction product is up to 100% bioavailable, which is why I think our product works so well and why it has such quick effect, etc. So I really believe that is the main selling point between us and everybody else. No less important is the fact that we control and or own the process from what we call farm to front door, seed to bottle to you. The farmers, we control the seeds. The farmers grow for us exclusively. We do all the extraction, all the processing, we do the bottling, and we do the shipping. We control or own everything, which means there's no tipping points along the way. That is hugely important. If anybody understands things like supply chains, I'll try not to ramble, but one of the things that's important to understand different agendas. Farmers, for instance, if they're just independent and trying to sell their extraction or their crude to people, you actually get paid on the weight of your product. Well, it turns out that if a farmer delays harvesting and goes about 2 weeks beyond what is considered the perfect time to harvest, mold begins to form on the plant. Well, you know what? Mold weighs a lot more. So that's just an example, and I've come across that and in conversations with farmers, and they're literally driving around with truckloads full of 55-gallon barrels trying to sell crude. So the fact that we control everything is hugely important as well. I'm going to bring on now Victoria. Victoria is young. Don't let that fool you. She knows as much, if not more, than any of us about CBD. She's been working in the CBD industry for about 4 years, and she's going to share some specifics about some of the ReAction products for you to take a look at. So Victoria, when you're ready to jump in.
Thank you, Jeff. So I'm super excited that you guys invited me. I really enjoy being able to come on here and explain these products and explain how important FSC and CBD is to your body, just because it's something that I'm passionate about. I know these products have changed my life. They've changed a lot of my family's lives and my friends' lives. So if we can rewind a little bit, I'd like to kind of go back to that video. Somebody shared that video with me and I got to see it, and it was incredible. Like Jeff said, she put that in such an easy way for everybody to understand, and it just makes you just say, wow, the endocannabinoid system is so vital to our body, and it's just important as your brain, and it's something that's been hidden from us for a very long time. So think about it. The endocannabinoid system pretty much controls your body and how it functions on a day-to-day basis. So it's extremely important. So I know Jeff's touched on it a little bit, but CBD, there is different types of CBD. CBD is just one cannabinoid out of the entire plant. So you imagine what you can get with whole plant medicine. There's over 120 known cannabinoids in the hemp plant. So when you're just getting CBD and it says 99%, pure CBD, that's just one molecule. And like you said, with broad spectrum or distillate is what people call it. That's pretty much people taking everything out of the plant and putting whatever they want to. So you're still missing a lot of the stuff out of it. So when you get a full spectrum, a true full spectrum, that's everything out of a hemp plant. That's terpenes, flavonoids, fatty acids, cannabinoids, THC. And when you put all those together, what it does is it maximizes your benefits. But not only does it maximize your benefits, it gives you something called the entourage effect, and it puts your body in a homeostasis, which is something that's extremely vital to something like the endocannabinoid system. The entourage effect is when everything works together. And homeostasis, your body's balanced. So whenever your body falls out of balance, there's really no way to get that back until, with whole plant medicine is the only way. In homeostasis, you want to make sure your body's balanced with hormones and a lot of stuff that happens in day-to-day life, stress, anxiety, aches and pains due to weather, all this different stuff. It's extremely vital to your body. But another thing that I find extremely important when it comes to CBD is knowing what the product is and where it comes from. Because like Jeff was saying, the market is extremely large right now, and there's a lot of different, products out there. And like you saying, I've been in the industry for over 4 years, and I've seen a lot of different stuff. But ReAction sticks out like a sore thumb to me. And why that is because they control and own everything from the farm to the front door, which is huge. So they know exactly where everything's coming from, exactly what's going on. Like Jeff said, everybody, other products, when you're buying products, hemp to extract, or you're just buying the extraction and then making the actual oil or the topicals, and you don't know exactly what went on with those other things. So what's awesome about this is that everything is under one door, so you get the top product. So one really, really amazing thing about ReAction, what they do is they test the soil that the hemp is grown in, which is an extremely vital part, is the actual hemp itself growing, because it is a very sensitive plant. So I know it's tested anywhere from 3 to 4 times while it's growing. It's being managed the entire time. So the test is done before it's the process, and after the final product, it's tested once again, which is absolutely huge. Then you get into our extraction process. Why the extraction process is such a vital part is because it's a patented proprietary extraction process using nano and cryosonic technology, which is absolutely huge because that's pretty much breaking it down on a cellular level, so our body absorbs 100% of it. A lot of the other CBD that you see in the market, such as isolates, broad spectrum, what a lot of people try to call full spectrum, your body's only absorbing around 30 to 50% of it, which isn't a lot. So you're not being able to get to that true homeostasis, get the true entourage effect. The only way is a true full spectrum. So kind of going, whenever another great thing is you're not just getting the cannabinoids, you're not just getting 100% of the CBD, you're getting whole plant, all the cannabinoids, all the flavonoids, all the terpenes, which is absolutely huge. Another great thing about ReAction is that they actually provide everybody with, there's over 30 different products that it's all has natural ingredients with all the key component, which is FSC, full spectrum, whole plant medicine. So there's different types of products, which just kind of give us a different delivery method because everybody's body's different. Some people react to something, different than other people, just depending on the issues that you're trying to help. So they have tinctures. Tincture comes in 2 different milligrams. It has 4 different flavors. And you do that sublingually, meaning under your tongue. So it's a fast way into your bloodstream. Then you have the capsules. The capsules, there's 2 different quantities. Then there is 4 different types of topicals, which are all containing 2,100 milligrams of FSC. So it's extremely potent. Great thing about that is there's all different types of topicals for all different reasons. And that can be anywhere from pain to acne to wrinkles, a little bit of everything. And then they also have edibles. So edibles, gummies, chocolates, different stuff like that, which is really good for like a mid-dose or anything to do midday dose if you had a bad day or you had struggle sleeping. And then they also have lip balm, which is really good for any sore, cracked lips, especially if it's cold wherever you're at right now. And then there's been a lot of testimonies about people using it for fever blisters. Then they also provide us with a full spectrum pet line. So the pet line gives us different delivery methods as well to give it to our lovely animals. So they have tinctures, capsules, syringe, salves. So a little bit of everything to give your animals the same, choice you get, which is awesome. And so, like I said, not only have these products changed my life, but they've changed my family's, they've changed my friend's life. But I'm very blessed because I get to work with people on a day-to-day basis that are involved in this company and people that have questions that reach out to me. So I get to see a lot of amazing testimonies, and I can't sit here and talk to you about all the testimonies that I've seen. But just to give you an idea of the testimonies, and it's only been working with this company for a year and seeing the huge difference from what an isolate can do, what a whole plant medicine can do. I've seen people that have diabetes that have now been able to stop with taking their insulin. I've seen kids that are nonverbal and autistic that are now talking and off medications. I've worked with tons of kids that have ADD, ADHD, anxiety issues that are doing now off medications, or they're doing great with school, and they're pretty much a completely different kid. With people that have stress, anxiety, off medications, or being able to live their life how they should have been. People that have arthritis that now, feel good and they don't have to take medications. People with high blood pressure that are off their medications. People that have struggled with addiction their whole life and can never find that, thing to help them get off, that now aren't doing drugs and being able to live their lives to the fullest. So, there's huge testimonies, but not only those things are extremely vital, being able to share those testimonies, but these products, one great thing about them is because it is whole plant medicine, you feel the reaction. And that's why I love the name, Feel the Reaction, just because whenever you take it, you will feel it. So I just wanted to thank you guys for letting me share. Like I said, these products are incredible and they've changed my life. So thank you.
Victoria, thanks so much for that information. I will say I rambled a little bit before Victoria spoke, so I covered some of the stuff that she was supposed to talk about. So if she looked a little flustered with, why is he still talking? That's the reason. So I wanted to make sure that everybody knew that. And Victoria, great job. Awesome. Loved it. I think it's important, and we're kind of getting towards the end of this, another few minutes, but I think it's important to know that about the company ReAction, about the products. As we've already determined, the endocannabinoid system is very, very important. CBD/FSC is helping a lot of people. There are people like who'll say, "Oh, what are you doing that? It's it's snake oil or whatever." There's no studies. I will tell you, there have been plenty of studies. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of studies. There's been no long-term human clinical trials, which is, and I don't think they'll ever do a long-term human clinical trial, but there's plenty of studies. If anybody's interested, I have an email with 389 links to how CBD/FSC is helping with a number of issues in research and studies. So it's important. The ReAction company, why I'm here. If you told me a year ago that this is what I'd be doing, and I'd be the VP of corporate communications for a CBD company, I would say two things. Number one, you're nuts, and number two, what is CBD? I knew nothing about it. I want to just make a little bit of a departure because I think it's important for you to know why we're all here. Our CEO, Candace, she had struggled with cancer many, many years ago, and had dealt with it and was a survivor. It was about 2 decades ago. About 2 years ago, Candace was diagnosed with an acoustic neuroma tumor. Inoperable. And she said at that time, 2 years ago, I'm not going to do chemo. I'm not going to do radiation. I will not. I'd rather die. But in the meantime, I'd like to have I would like to have a quality of life. So through a contact, who I call the mad scientist, which is the guy behind all of this, she started essentially doing, taking large doses of the crude extract. And when she went back to the doctor, her tumor had shrunk. That's as plain and simple as it gets. Again, we cannot make medical claims. People respond differently. But that's one of the reasons why I started listening. I then tried the product for myself, ate a piece of fudge, went home that night, and slept like a rock. Something I really haven't done in 30 years in terms of sleeping deeply. So that's why we're all here, is because I think the company also has a purity of mission to it, and we can feel really good about what we're doing. On that note, we're going to shift gears just a little bit. So if anybody is considering or opening their minds or open to the idea of considering whether a CBD product, specifically ReAction, might be good for you, that's a wonderful thing. We are going to just give you a brief overview of some other things we'd like to talk about, and maybe how you can get your products for 25% off, or even figure out a way to pay for them. So on that note, I'm going to introduce our Director of Marketing, Katie Maple. I don't think I need to say any more than that. But here she is, Katie Maple.
Hello, everyone. My name is Katie Maple. I'm the Director of Marketing for My Life Simple and ReAction. It's my job to ensure that you, as ambassadors, have all the tools and support that you need to build your own successful business. I believe it's important to know who you're in business with, so I want to take a few minutes and tell you just a little bit about myself and my background and what really drew me to this company. I've actually spent my entire career and my entire adult life in the direct selling space. I started working for a direct selling company right out of college as a creative copywriter, and I spent 20 years with that company holding a variety of different positions. And in that time, I helped grow that company from 1 country to 26 countries across 5 continents. So it's safe to say that I've literally grown up in this industry. In fact, I love this industry. I love the people. I love being able to impact people's lives in such a positive way, simply by going to work and doing my job. There's not a lot of places where I could say that. Remember what I said about knowing who you're in business with? Well, I did my due diligence when I met Candace as well. When I first learned about this company, and after I spoke with her and heard her incredible story, I knew this was a company that I wanted to be a part of. In fact, I knew this was a company I needed to be a part of. Candace's story is incredible, her vision is incredible, her leadership is incredible, and the products absolutely speak for themselves. I've tried other CBD products in the past and wasn't overly impressed. It wasn't until I met Candace, heard her story, and understood the science behind ReAction that I truly realized how and why these products are different and what makes them unique. All CBD is not full spectrum, and all CBD is not the same. Now I clearly understand what we mean when we say that ReAction goes beyond CBD. I've been using several of the products for several months. I love my results. Many of my friends and family have started using them as well because they've seen how happy I was with them. It goes without saying I'm a believer in this industry. Now I'm a believer in this product and in Candace and in what we're doing together. In fact, the My Life Simple comp plan is among one of the best I've ever seen in the industry, and I've seen a lot of them. So when you combine Candace's story, her passion, with a product line like ReAction and a compensation plan that actually allows you to build a business by helping people you care about live fuller, healthier, happier lives, that is simply unbelievable. It sounds almost ridiculous, doesn't it? And you just cannot put a price tag on an opportunity like that. I truly believe you are exactly where you need to be right now at this very moment, hearing this information and learning about this company. I know you're busy, we're all busy, but focus while you're here. You will not be disappointed. This is an incredibly exciting time to be a part of the My Life Simple and ReAction stories, and you are truly on the ground floor of this opportunity. There is nowhere to go but up. I am so excited and so blessed to be a part of this amazing company, and I look forward to everything that we can do together. Thanks so much and take care.
That was recorded actually a couple of days ago, but I wanted to say thank you again to Katie. It really meant a lot to us when Candace decided to bring this product to market through the direct marketing model. It meant a lot to us to have somebody like Katie, an industry pro, was one of the largest direct marketing companies in the world, come to us, look at what we were doing, and say, I want in, and your comp plan is fantastic. So there are ways, obviously, to join our team, and look, especially now, I think it's important to cover the business part of that, because again, there are people literally that have no plan B at the moment, who are sitting around waiting for their $1,200 check in the next month. So you know, monetizing a passion is a very important quality. And we've got it off to a great start. We were in pre-launch for about 6 months, launched officially on January 1st. And the thing that is awesome about this is that it is designed, the comp plan is designed to literally allow people to make money quickly. And I know you've probably heard that from a lot of different companies, but much like our product is so different than anything else out there, I believe that our business, our purity of mission, and also our comp plan is also just as different. I'm gonna introduce a guy that I've known for several years now. It's important to meet him, I think, because Billy Workman is our top earning ambassador. And you know, when you hear all these stories about people getting RVs and taking trips and all these wonderful things, you wonder, well, are they real? Well, I'm here to tell you that this is real. I've seen Billy, I've seen what he's done. 7 months ago, he was working 3 jobs. He was in debt, struggling to make ends meet. Didn't really, I don't think he believed in himself 100% with this, because he never looked at himself as a salesman. I will tell you, I won't say how much because I embarrass him when I do that, but let's just say he's going to make considerably over 6 figures his first year in the business with a new company. So I wanted to bring Billy up, but 7 months later, he's out of debt. He just bought his very first new vehicle in his life a couple of months ago, and is closing on his first house this week. And I think it's important for you to meet him. Billy, you there?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Jeff. And thank you, everyone, for joining us this morning. I know it's early for some people, so thank you for jumping on here. This is exciting for all of us. Katie pretty much just summed up everything that's going on with me about building passion and getting compensated for doing what you love and sharing that passion with others. For me, this journey has been simply amazing, and I can sum it up with one word, and that is passion. 8-9 months ago, I tried these products for the first time. I suffered from anxiety and stress, and I have restless legs at night. I'm also a race car driver on the weekends, so that puts me through a lot of stress too. So to sum it up, and I tell everyone, I go around and I'm passionate. These products right here, this tincture has changed my life. And I've been fortunate enough to be able to go around and start off with the people that I'm closest to, the friends and family in my life. Literally every single person around me is using ReAction and building testimonies on it and seeing these same great results that I am. So essentially right now I'm getting paid to share my passion with the people around me. And they're actually being able to go out there and start up companies on their own and do the same as I am. Right now is better than ever. As Jeff mentioned in Plan B, there's a lot of crazy things going on. I've been fortunate enough to turn my Plan B into a Plan A and make more money than I'd ever imagined. But I'm not going and knocking on door to door, and I'm not doing things that are crazy. I'm just sharing my passion for these products with the people around me. It's about putting these products in people's hands. And everyone on this call, I hope you guys get a chance. If you haven't, I hope you get a chance to try these products and feel the same results that I do. We just came out with some gummies, and these right here are amazing. These gummies, along with this tincture, is my arsenal. And I go around and I just share it with everyone. So I've worked with everyone from a 2-year-old little boy with autism all the way to 80, 90-year-old people elderly people with Parkinson's and dementia, different things, and help them better their quality of life for their remaining years. So for me, I could sum it up with just passion, guys. And I appreciate you guys jumping on here. Jeff, thank you so much for having me. We're always available. I'm just a regular old guy. So if you do happen to take the pledge and jump in this company, we'll be right here by your side.
Billy, thanks very much. And as always, thank you for sharing your story. I know you get a little shy about it and a little embarrassed, but I think it's important that everybody put a real person behind the, again, the company marketing, as it were, to understand that this is real. So, that being said, guys, this is a tremendous opportunity. Some of you, as I said, if you're interested in trying the product, that's a great place to start. If you are interested in how to get your products 25% off, somebody can share that information with you as well. Again, I won't bombard you now, but when we're through here, please feel free to reach out to the person that kind of led you here, and somebody will be more than willing to share this. Again, get your product 25% off. Don't be scared by the idea that people say work in the business and all that kind of stuff. Basically, you can determine your own level of ambition, make a couple of extra $100 a month, or you can literally change your financial outlook. And like I've done, my plan B is now my plan A, and that's really important. So if the question on your mind is, okay, so if I want to do this and I'm going to try it, and if it works, I'm going to talk about it with my friends. Well, that, my friends, is the business. That's what it is sharing something that you believe in and that you're passionate about. Again, we're going to wrap up here in a minute. Please reach out. In fact, maybe we can have somebody put up my number and email address, and also Billy's as well. At this point, the number one question probably that people have on their mind outside of the product is, okay, how much does this cost? Well, what am I in for? I will tell you that we have ways to enroll anywhere from an investment of $25 all the way up to the larger packages. And the larger packages, of course, depend on how much product you actually order in order to start your business. As I said, for $25, you could literally get a website that will be up and running and live by the end of today. And if people are going to your website and ordering product, you get 25% of that. You get the difference between the wholesale and the retail. So literally, if anybody's interested in literally getting started today, you could be making money by this evening or by this afternoon. So I encourage any of you to reach out, ask us some more information, join our team. We're all very, very passionate about this product and about the business and about our mission, which is to introduce this product to the world. I'm not sure if we're going to open this up to questions or answers, but if anybody has any questions that they'd like to speak up, you just unmute your microphone and you can do that. Or you can write in the chat bar if you're a Zoom pro. And if there are no questions at the moment, we're going to let everybody go. Sorry, I lost my screen here. And again, I want to say thank you for not only doing this, to get more information, but certainly the investment and time that you've made in yourself. So I hope everybody has a great day. I hope it's as beautiful where you are as where I am. And I hope you join us. On that note, have a great weekend and stay safe and healthy, everybody.
Thank you.